Hey everybody, Adam Savage at Prop Store down in Los Angeles with Brandon Ellinger.
Adam, how are you?
Very good, sir. How are you?
I'm doing good.
You guys are auctioning off some Blade Runner 2049 props, and it's been a fun day of shooting videos, of one of my favorite movies and some of my favorite propage. But we have a really specific genre of props here tonight. These are all LAPD Blade Runner 2049 props.
Yes, yeah, and all just like everything we looked at, beautiful, custom made, specifically built for this movie.
There's been a lot of talk about the advent of 4K and higher resolution movies and television, and that prop masters and prop makers and scenic painters have had to up their game.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know whether the props that I'm looking at here are a response to this, but there is no uncanny valley. Like most movie props, when you look at them up close, they get kind of crunchy, but not this stuff.
Yeah, the detail, the graphic work, the deco, the paint finishes, everything on these is really pristine. And, you know, I think it also, for me, kind of tells a story of what the prop master's role is to kind of give the director options. You know, so many of these props, they're not just props, they function, you know, and in some cases they function exactly as they would in the film. And so I think a number of the pieces that we have on the table right now, they have interactive elements which the actors play with, you know, which wind up in the final film.
I love that there's two different pairs of handcuffs.
Yes, yeah. So this is the pair that they shackled up Deckard with.
This is Harrison Ford is wearing these at the end of the film.
At the end. And in fact, if we play with these a little bit, I believe we have some locking pins here, which if we can pull
you can actually put them on?
If I pull that pin out, then it's magnetic. And that will open up and someone can wear it.
Wow. Here,
and then,
I'm gonna snap it
there
on.
we go.
Let's just see.
We'll trap you in the limo
nice.
here. So magnetic closure and then held with the locking pin.
So that'll allow a close-up of it being closed, but then it'll also allow him to wear it without it coming loose.
And they've made a number of these, probably especially because they were filming underwater. So who knew what was going to happen to it? And I think if you look at some of the metal hardware, you'll see some rust.
Ooh, this was like definitely used in the wet
in a tank
environment.
Yeah. And there's also versions of these that have the little nylon strap where I think they had this bolted to the seat of the limo spinner, they called it, so that he couldn't go anywhere. Just a really cool little prop with the great serial number inscribed on the side that just kind of brings it to life.
And again, we've got this actually interesting dichotomy, because if he's being captured by Niander Wallace, it occurs to me that these are actually like higher end, more expensive,
I guess.
And that these are the police issue, more simple, more workaday kind of handcuffs.
Okay, yeah, that's an interesting take.
Right?
Or did Wallace repurpose?
Yes,
Polisky? I don't know. We're this is inside baseball, but
look, I'm here. I love how different they are. Right? They both feel very much. They both sell an idea of a future.
Yeah.
Two different trajectories of a future. That is a lot of work for an art department to do.
Yeah, and this is making me think of like police caution tape. You know, the use of the yellow.
Absolutely. And also, there's the simplicity to it, right? The lack of complexity also speaks to a kind of piece of industrial hardware.
And my guess is these open up as well. I haven't handled them as much, but my guess is, what is that, a lock of some kind?
It doesn't
maybe
appear
just cosmetic.
to be. Oh, maybe these open it? No, I don't know.
Maybe not then. Maybe just worn as a costume piece, because I think the intention was, you know, you clip it on a police belt.
Yeah.
They also had in the film some police blasters, which are basically K's blaster but less detailed. They
with the different, not the blue, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Or they look like the K blaster, but they didn't go to the trouble to put the carbon fiber finish on the grip and that sort of thing. It's just like a straight black cast version.
Right.
Yeah.
The other thing this film did so amazingly were the little baby electronics. And we have two examples. Well, three, but two of them are the same.
Yeah, so these are the eye scanners that he uses to check the replicant's eyes.
And these were practical?
Yeah, these are both hero versions. So if you hit the button on the back, it should pop up to give a little help. Yeah. And then you've got, depress that.
Oh my God, I can test if I'm a replicant. Hold on, here we go.
That's how you read the eyes. So that one has got the light up side screen. This one, they've just put a green screen panel over it.
So they could replace that with CG.
They both have the flashing LED at the front. This one you see also the little tape
Yeah, I see
marks.
these little bits of tape. Good.
It looks like at some point it had VFX tracking dots on it.
I
And
see.
when you watch the film, if you zoom in on the 4K, you will see those VFX tracking dots.
Really?
So maybe they were thinking of replacing it with an image and just didn't need to in the end, didn't bother. But we know that one's in that shot. I think there were a couple of working ones with the different screens. They also had some static ones. They're just cast rubber, don't have any functionality. But this is not like a repurposed item. This is totally built for the film.
Completely bespoke. I got to handle one of these on the set.
Oh, you did?
Doug Harlocker walked me through these props, and he was not allowed to tell me what they were for.
Oh, is that right?
So I
secret
touched.
at that point.
And I mean,
Did you deduce?
I did. I mean, I saw this and I suspected it was some kind of eye scanner. And the Voight-Kampff machine has to be referenced, right? It is another. Blade Runner is a movie of all iconic parts and pieces, and the VK machine is another. So I love the updated, more modernized, sort of Sony's version of a VK machine 20 years later.
Right. Yeah. Checks it. And then I think, he uses it on Sapper during the fight, and then later he takes the eyeball in the bag back to the spinner, places it on the spinner console, and he scans it that way.
And
right?
is that this thing?
No, this is something
totally
else,
different.
actually.
So I thought that's what that business was.
That was just a piece of the stand that
Yes,
popped
no,
off,
I know,
in case
I-
anyone's wondering. That's the rubber tip on the stand rather than the prop. So this is called the slide reader.
Right.
And this doesn't play super heavily in the movie. You see it in the background of a couple shots, but I think they intended to do more with it. And the idea is that he was taking photographs as evidence, and they came out as slides, and then he puts them in the slide reader to check them out. So this guy, in addition to having the physical slide props, somewhere on here, I think.
Oh,
yeah. Okay.
it's a green screen.
But give it a second. It's going to run through a series of images that relate to the story.
No way.
And you see the tracking dots, just like what I was referencing on the eye scanner there. Ta-da!
Oh, the white tree!
Yeah, the tree.
I was standing right there.
Yeah, you're in that picture. I see you. Tiny Adam. He's in the computer.
I see. So
And
these
it-
would
and it
scroll through
cycles.
some of these
Yeah.
pictures for production.
Yeah, I don't know if there's a way to make it hold on the photo, but it will scroll through different shots of the skeletons and the
Oh,
bones
there's
and
the
things
date.
like that. So if they needed to shoot a specific close-up of the actual prop, and the idea is it's reading the physical slide, but it's digital prop.
The amount of world building in here is it's blowing my mind wide open, because even in the film, you don't quite see how much attention to detail there truly is, including the Sony logo.
Yeah, and I can't remember, does Sony play? I mean, brands in general, I think, play in the movie, because you see some of the big neon.
Right,
as he's
Atari,
flying, flying around the
Yes.
city.
Yeah.
I can't recall if Sony plays in other places also.
Oh, there's
See,
the
right.
ossuary.
Yeah.
And actually, that is a perfect segue. I'm not going to put this back in here right now, but that is a beautiful segue, because we have the medical, the viewer from that
Some
scene.
big tech, yes.
Dude, this is one of the biggest things. This is the biggest hand prop I've ever seen.
This is the Denabase machine. So when he goes to look at the DNA records
Yes.
with Joy, Ana de Armas.
Right, she's like behind him and watching with him.
This is what he's looking at.
This is what he's looking at. So this is, these parts all move.
And this is totally custom built for the film. You can see there's a big loom of wires coming out of the back. Wow. It's all been disconnected, but at one time, this had electronics. You can see, I think, some LEDs in the view screen there.
Yep. Oh, right, I do. That would light up.
And this is actually only part of the prop. This is kind of the core computer part that he's working with. It's attached to, in the film, a giant base piece, which is actually in storage in the UK and could possibly go with it to somebody if they wanted to deal with it. I understand it's roughly the size of like a VW Beetle, so it's not a small thing.
It takes it
Even
from
this is not a
prop
small
to
thing.
set.
That's
it
right.
moves it from
Yes.
prop area to set area.
Yeah, but it's a beautiful piece of construction.
Dude, it's amazing. And I also wanted to grab this and talk about this for a second, because this is what this stuff is built of, and it's all particle board.
Mm-hmm.
It's all basic theater carpentry.
Yeah.
And I just love the magic being laid bare here.
Well, but it's impressive how, it looks like the wood construction that it is there, but when you turn it around and they get these radiuses
It's
on it, and they
immediately
get
a
it
piece of
painted,
industrial hardware.
It looks very mechanical.
Yeah, it fits right into the whole picture.
This is one of the biggest pieces in the auction, I can say.
I was going to say.
Although there are actually, do you recall the replicant kind of blank bodies that are hanging in the tanks?
Yes.
We do have some of those as well. So those are probably the biggest pieces.
They're also heavy. I looked it up. Are those polystone?
I don't know what they are.
They're heavy though.
Yeah, I was speculating whether they like carve those out of foam or they're cast material. I don't know, but they are big and heavy. And they were definitely hanging on steel cables in the film.
Oh man, I just want to sit here and turn this on and play.
Yeah.
It's like you give the actors fun stuff to do, and they're totally gonna go and push all the buttons.
Someone can restore it and build an Atari into it, and sit there and have some fun.
Phenomenal. This is such a beautiful piece, and again, all of this is sort of like the nondescript background tech. You know, it's not playing as a highly central piece.
Yeah, and for me, that's again what makes this auction so much fun. Is so much of it is custom made. It's thought about. It's designed.
Yeah.
And it's really just gorgeous work at the end of the day.
Now, folks could purchase this pair of handcuffs. The auction is coming up soon.
The auction is, it is January 30th to February 20th. So it's online only. All the bidding will end on the last day on February 20th. And I think in total there are 200 items in the auction.
Wow. Oh, I just love these. All the text that they did that's inset into the pieces feels so industrial.
Yeah.
I love this movie before we started filming today, but having seen a lot of this stuff up close, I'm like even more.
It makes you excited to go watch the film again.
I believe I'll be doing that in a few hours.
That's what we've been doing as we've worked through the assets, prep the auction. It's like, oh, I got to look for that thing. Let me watch the film again. We've watched it a fair bit here at Prop Store recently.
Nice. Yeah. Brandon, thank you so much for walking me through these beautiful pieces.
Good to see you.
Good to see you. Thank you guys so much for watching that video. I would be remiss if I didn't tell you we have some excellent merch. We have a 5-pack of demerit badges for sale right now at tested/store.com. We've got the I hung it off of level demerit badge, the I built the chair backwards demerit badge, the I hit my thumb with a hammer demerit badge. We've got the stapler in my finger demerit badge, and my favorite, I stuck the duct tape to itself demerit badge. Get yours now, tested/store.store, tested-store. Tested. It's right here. There. Just click there.